This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're with Joel Creasy, and obviously we had the most important question to ask him.
Joel, here's a bit of we're taking a left field question here, but you just named some celebrities, right? Earlier on, we're just talking. There was a footy conversation that started with me, and I was telling a story where I was at the toilet with Gary Ablett.
Yep.
And then he was my hero at the time.
So
now,
then I've turned around and said, wait there, I've also urinated next to a celebrity, and I've urinated next to LL Cool J at the Four Seasons in LA, which is very intimidating weeing experience. You must have been next to some famous doodles across the years at the wee wall.
So I don't go. Well, yes, that can be taken many ways. I get nervous, so I don't use the cubicles. But I have urinated next to our boss in the Sydney office, and that is terrifying.
Next to our boss.
Yeah, yes, all our mutual boss.
Pete Charlton. Which one?
Pete.
Oh, Pete Colosimo.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a penis. I think it's just a mound like a mannequin.
He is like a hologram. He's amazing.
He's amazing. I was so nervous, and I did my contract renewal there and then. I signed in urine.
yeah, blood so old-fashioned.
I honestly thought you would have had a myriad of peeing next to a celebrity stories.
I'm trying to think. Oh, actually, Tom Ford. There you go.
Tom Ford?
How stylish.
What are you talking about? I wear his sunglasses.
He looks a lot like Alex Perry in person, by the way.
Sure.
Oh, does he?
Yes, in LA. I didn't realise it was Tom Ford until I walked out of the bathroom and my mate said, "Oh my God, you're being next to Tom Ford."
We are asking the big questions today. Presumably this is for the fellas. Have you urinated next to a celebrity?
Well, we said it's for the fellas, but Elise has given us a call. Hello, Elise.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Lise.
Hey, what happened?
So it wasn't me, but it was my partner.
Yeah.
He went for a wee, as you do. Looked next to him, and it was the world's most famous porn star, Johnny Sins.
Oh, so this guy had it wrapped around his neck and then he's going, that's a weird way to wee.
Oh, I thought that was the fire hose.
I did not. How does your
that
partner?
was a very humbling experience.
I'm sorry, because how does your partner know Johnny Sin so well?
He was in Perth for Sexpo, so he was like headlining the event, and that's how we knew him, apparently.
Well, we're just having a look at him.
No, wait, sorry, I need further explanation. So you guys went to Sexpo?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so and he knows Johnny Sim's work?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he knows his work.
I just don't know because I never heard of him before, so I would never recognise him.
Did this happen at Sexpo?
Yeah, so there were people that were lining up and they had to pay $20 to get a selfie with him.
Yeah.
But my partner spat into him in the toilet.
For free.
And got a selfie. Quick snap of his. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Elise.
That's good, Elise.
Darren's in Waikiki. Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Hi,
Darren.
Daz.
Hey,
Who have you peed next to?
Oh, I peed next to Bob Hawke, actually.
Oh.
So, for the America's Cup. But I
The
was only
golden era.
13.
Yes. That's classic Bob Hawke.
Yeah.
So, and everyone knew Bob used to scull a beer, like you can knock a beer down.
Yeah, cool.
And when you're 13, going to the toilet, I think it was the National at the time.
Yeah.
And I was in there with my old man and that. And he said, just go to the toilet. And I was wondering what these blokes all standing around the trough for, like. and I thought, geez, they're all standing there, you know. They're a bit weird, you know. And I thought, it's bloody Bob. So you know, you got to have a look at the Prime Minister's Willie Avenue. You got to have a look.
And what is it like? Did it have distinguished grey hair that was sort of like slick back?
Yeah, well, you're picturing his eyebrows, or sort of like that down there, you know?
As they call it, Nathan, its proper title is the first pecker.
Oh my God, it looks like his eyebrows.
So he kept his uniform all round, you know. So it was like,
Yes.
and I thought, I'm not too well endowed actually for a 13-year-old compared to Bob there. So,
Yeah.
That is so funny. It's like his eyebrows. Now I'm thinking differently about Tony Gallardi.
Yes. Imagine John Howard.
Be like Dickie Knees down there.
Thanks, Daz. Nathan's in Basso. Hi, Nath.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Nathan.
Have you peed next to someone famous?
I've got two.
Yeah.
One's local and one's international.
Okay, give us international first.
If you know the actor Andy Garcia,
Andy
Garcia,
of course.
where were you?
I was at the Los Angeles airport.
Oh,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, okay.
Was he lovely to wee next to?
When he actually peed next to me, I finished first and I got out to a cafe.
Yeah.
And he stood behind me. So I asked for an autograph. It was a bit awkward because we were sitting next to each other doing our bits first.
Yeah.
And asking for an autograph was a bit weird.
Yeah.
But he still gave me a selfie.
Oh,
that's
nice.
good,
Okay,
Andy
so
Garcia.
that's a solid international. Who's your local?
No other than Sean McManus.
You peed next to Sean McManus.
How did this,
He was
how did
at
this
one
come
of the
around?
It was one of the Fremantle photo shoots for the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I was working for Telstra, and I was one of the sponsors that we got invited.
Yeah.
And I went to the toilets, and Sean McManus comes in, Jeffrey Palmer comes in, and Luke McFarlane comes in.
Amazing stuff, isn't it?
Well,
I
there you
peed
go.
next to Sean as well. Isn't it amazing? Because you think that's a baby's.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought so, mate. I wouldn't have thought-
Yeah.
You looking at my rod?
Oh, thanks, Nathan. That gave us everything. Steve's in Padbury. Morning, Steve.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, good,
Buddy.
Steve.
Okay, what famous person have you peed next to?
John Travolta.
Oh!
John
He would've-
Travolta
hey,
would
he
have been
would've
looking.
Okay, where were you? What happened?
I was at the Four Seasons Hotel over in the state. We'd been out on the town for the evening, kind of a bit of a big night.
Yeah.
And I wasn't actually able to make it all the way to the toilet. So, of course, as gentlemen are able to do, I found the nearest top plant
Yes.
and started going in the lobby. John,
Steve.
it's
a big
we've all done it, come on.
We've all done
Okay,
it.
Steve, we have not. Keep going.
Yeah, okay, maybe not that, but, you know.
Yeah.
And, yeah, John Travolta walked in, and one of my mates thought it would be really funny to run up to him and say, my friend over there's a huge fan. So, being the gentleman he was, John Travolta walked over and was standing on the other side of the pot plant while I was going to the toilet.
I'm sure he was.
Yes. Keeping a very
Yeah,
close
he's an
eye
only
on
big
you.
fan.
Tell you what, he wasn't pruning that plant.
Well, no, luckily, it was kind of like, you know, one of those kind of fern bushes and stuff they had, so
Yes.
couldn't really tell what I was doing. So, yeah, but he was very polite and, you know, all of that kind of thing. And then to top it off, one of my mates came over and said, would you like to get a selfie?
Oh,
Sure,
nice.
John wanted to get a selfie.
Yeah. The reality is for men, if they're standing at the urinal, there might be somebody standing next to them,
Yep.
and they might be somebody famous.
And then
That's
can
right.
I say it's a struggle whether to look at their doodle or not. Because straight away, Sean...
Is it Sean?
It is. It is.
Probably have a... Yeah, I think it's a
Every
struggle.
guy will...
Fly
Like, if there is a celebrity next to you, that you'll be trying your hardest not to, but you'll want to have a glance.
I feel like you need to strike up a conversation too because, you know, he's next to you.
What?
Andy Garcia.
What do you say? Great
Love you in
stream.
Oceans 12.
Yeah.
whatever.
Lovely
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah. Oh, it's easy for them to say something. Stop looking at my penis, please.
Oh, sorry.
Have you been taking vitamin B? That kind of thing.
We're finding out who has peed next to celebrities. Let's go to Neil. Hi,
Hello,
Neil.
Oh, g'day, guys.
G'day, Neil.
I know.
Neil.
Set the scene. Where were we?
This is showing my age. This is about 1996. This is the Sheraton Hotel in Perth.
Oh.
And this is around about the time of Rally Australia time of year, for those who
Yes.
remember it.
I competed in there a
Yeah,
couple of
Sean
times.
drove in it.
It's
Yeah.
a great time to be alive.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of celebrities,
Yeah.
another particular celebrity who happened to come over for that year is a guy by the name of Jason Priestley.
90210. How amazing.
Very, very famous at the time.
Are you kidding me? Jason Priestley.
Jason Priestley.
Brandon
So
Walsh,
it-
right?
Brown Walsh.
Correct. So, look, bit of an awkward moment. You don't really know whether to look or not.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Did
of
ya?
an intimate
Did you though?
moment.
Yeah, he did.
You did.
would have looked.
You did have a look.
Hey, Nat, I don't know if I had the confidence to look.
But it's the
But you know
it's-
if
but
you
it's-
looked or
but
not.
it's- but
Priestley.
it's- But it's the Priestley peen. You would have to
Look,
look
he
at the
was
Priestley
every-
peen.
He was every girl's dream, right?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
So
we
you
had the
did
short
look.
back and sides with the little quiff thing
Yeah,
going
he
on,
did. He
Nate.
did.
So I can't remember, but anyway. a
Oh,
few
you
years
looked.
ago-
You
Yeah.
remember.
Oh, no, wait there. A few years ago. Yep.
But yeah, hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jason Priestley in Perth, and all of a sudden standing next to him. Couldn't believe it.
What a dream.
I'd imagine if it was Luke Perry's, he'd have, he had all those crinkles in his forehead. I would imagine he would,
That's
he would
reflected.
have that on his peen.
We've got one more to round us out, Nat.
Scott, hello.
Hi, how are you this morning?
Hey, Scotty.
Good,
Scotty.
Scott, good
All right.
Scott.
Have you peed next to Scott?
Well, I didn't pee next to, but I did an escorting of a celebrity to the toilet.
Yeah.
So I was working in a private facility at Perth Airport where we'd have a lot of celebrities come through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've been there. No,
No,
didn't even know it existed
I
until just
remember
then.
seeing you there.
Yes.
So yeah, normally they like to do a quick transfer and don't even get out of their vehicles.
Yeah.
But there was a bit of a delay one day, so I said to the two passengers, being Mr. Thor Hemsworth and Matt Damon, "You guys want to use the toilet?"
Stop it.
What?
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. And they actually obliged, and Mr. Damon said, "Yeah, let me go use the toilet." So as I took him in, my coworker came out of the bathroom and came face to face with him, and he just was in shock.
Oh, my
Yes.
God.
bet
Of
you
course
would've
he
been.
was. Good Willie hunting.
Yes, famously. Oh, Scott.
So had
They
they?
had the same haircut.
Yeah.
What
What a great gig, by the way.
Oh, my God.
What's business?
Do you do that all the time, Scott?
Not anymore, because it took quite a toll having to be on call all the time.
Yeah.
Did you get a fair few decent celebrities coming through Perth?
Oh, pretty much anyone that came to Perth, yeah.
So were there people that we wouldn't even know they fly in on private jets and then go somewhere else, then we didn't even know they were here kind of thing?
Yeah, for sure. We used to sneak some people out, and people would be waiting out the front gates, and we'd just tell them they came commercial, but they didn't really.
Give us an example. Throw us a name.
You might have signed an NDA.
Mr. Marshall Mathers, Eminem.
Really?
Joking? You would check his
Yeah.
So he came here and nobody knew, he wasn't touring anything, nobody knew he was here.
Oh, no, sorry. He was on tour, but
Oh, okay.
he was escorted out a different avenue.
Yeah,
but, yeah, people come just for weekenders, go down south, it is. I've been out of the game for a few years,
Yeah.
so, don't really want to disclose too much.
No,
but,
of course not. Of course not. Yeah.
Amazing.
Eminem,
so many
hey?
questions. Love to have a beer with you.
Eminem, you'd check his luggage, wouldn't you?
Oh, for sure.
I know
You
it's
put the
profiling,
dog
but straight
over
away,
it.
rappers, I'm checking your luggage.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Ellen Ritchie,
Sorry, Ben. 4.
Shana Burgess,
Room for improvement. 4.
Mark Wilson,
Come on, Ben, you can do it. 4.
That's right, everybody. He blew the judges away last night on Dancing with the Stars, a hidden talent none of us knew he had. Neither did he.
Ben Cousins.
Good morning.
Cuzzy.
I knew this one was coming. It's been a long build-up.
Yeah.
Ben, you did film this quite a while ago, so tell everyone when it started, because you've been...
So I started practicing just after New Year.
Yeah.
And then... and that went on and off for six odd weeks, and then spent 6 weeks up in Sydney for the filming.
So wait there. So that was 6 weeks of practice, that dance?
I know where you're going with
So
that.
they know what to say. Did they not have 8 weeks up their sleeve?
So basically, what I'm trying to say is I've had a long time to sit and wait for this, and even I've known. In the limited stuff I know about TV, even the cleverest editing wasn't going to be able to spin this.
Well, they just would have had to blur the whole thing, Ben, wouldn't they? No, I'm going to say it's not as bad as what you're thinking it is.
No.
But my favourite thing about you, Ben, was the look on your face. You had that smile on your face like, oh, shit, this is happening.
Complete terror.
I'm
Complete
hearing
terror.
you, and you do. I couldn't have done one more hour of dancing. So it wasn't through lack of effort or
It's
application.
not easy. It's tough. There's no doubt about it.
It is. But I was surprised at how sensitive I did get about some of the comments. And whilst I did find it very humorous, I do like the phrase presenting.
Yes.
I do find that funny.
Yes,
but
'cause that was you sticking your butt out. Yeah.
to the nation. So I can honestly say, even today, there's not a shop window that I don't walk past and I give a double take to see how my ass is looking. I've become very self-conscious.
One of the things I was worried about where before you were about to walk down the stairs and start the foxtrot was how much you were going to sweat up whilst you're doing that.
Yes.
Now, we saw that you ran out of breath, but we did a show last year for the first time in a while, and you sweated like a good horse, Ben.
Oh.
So how were you just before then?
Oh, mate, if I was in the mounting yard before the race, if I was a horse, you wouldn't have your money on me. I know that. But, after the performance, I took my jacket off.
Yeah.
And it was as dripping as ever, if not more, than I've ever been playing football. So I guess that's the dance component, but also, the nerves
Yes.
and doing it. And that was a big stretch for me, I must admit. the other 6 days of the week I really enjoyed, and I was felt after some time quite safe in the confines of a studio just with my dance partner. But then
when there's people watching,
when
and
there's
judging.
lights, cameras, a crowd,
Got the spray on.
But
down.
also, let's talk about the pressure, right? We all know TV, right? We've been in this industry for a while. The most popular, the person that they hang everything on that the ratings are going to be there for is the last person to dance. It's the last person to come down those stairs. That was you. All the pressure was on you because people knew, and that's why they had you on the first episode. They want to hook people in because everyone wants to see how Ben Cousins does. You had to. Did you realise that was happening?
Well, bring it home. Yeah, you know.
Now, Kaz, a few years ago, we caught up with Dave Wirapunda, who was on this show as well, and he hated being on this show and was begging. We were telling people to vote for him. It was back when they used to vote, and he would say, "No, don't vote me," and he hung up on us because we were encouraging people to vote for him to keep him there. Did you ask him for any advice?
Well, there's a story to this. So I purposely, when I was starting to entertain the idea of going on the show, I didn't want to hear what Wira had to say about it. I didn't want to know.
Probably don't talk to Danny Green either.
Then after it was announced, he did call up the next day, and I answered the phone, and he said, "Brother, why didn't you talk to me first?" And I told him, I said, "Listen," I said, "I didn't want to know what you had to say. You know, it is very hard, this show, and I'd heard that you need to put in a lot of time and effort and training." You know, Wira was a very naturally gifted, athlete. He didn't like training for football, so how was he going to go at dancing? So I said, I'm going to try and put myself in a slightly different category, but maybe I should have listened to him. It has been a bit of
the thing is, you don't know if your body moves that way until you try and move your body that way. So people that twerk, so many people, Sean, you can probably twerk. I don't have the muscles in my body or the arse you'd be able to do it.
You'll be fine, Ben.
He can drop it like it's hot.
You can shake up Sean's protein drink in your ass.
We're still having a chat to Ben Cousins. Of course, he's on Dancing with the Stars
Put the
last
sequins
night.
away.
Yeah, lovely tie. Looked amazing. Cuz, you did say you really enjoyed it once you got going. And so there's two things. You really enjoyed it. There's a fitness component because you were dancing like 8 hours a day type of stuff.
And you're listening to some of your favourite songs.
and I also want to get how personal it gets between you and your dancer because you're right up in a grill all the time.
Yeah, well, it's a unique. The whole dance world, has been something that I have.
So many of them hook up.
It's sort of like going snorkeling for the first time. There's a whole different world under there, but this is much the same. And I hadn't been exposed to it at all, but I did love it. And a big part of why I enjoyed the show so much, I had an incredible dance partner, and I really did fall in love with the way she and the other pro dancers moved. It is something else. And pretty quickly it just became about just how good an opportunity it was to be able to dance with somebody like that.
Well, they're athletes,
day in, day out. Yeah, you're just not exposed to that ever, really. And so I did love it.
When you're holding your partner for the first time, right? So it's like when you're on a date with someone or you've been with someone for a while, you might dance like that somewhere.
It's very intimate.
You're grinding up next to them.
You're right, Sean. It's easier just to sleep with them at the start. And just get it out of the way. Like you're like, I know we don't know. Let's just do it. Let's go hardcore, and then afterwards everything's going to be easy.
Did you feel a bit?
Well, that's a big part of it. Like dancers, they're so used to the touching or the
but you're not.
Yes, and that you sort of got to just go with it, and pretty quickly it just becomes part of the training and that. But even learning the steps was one thing, but then there's that whole. You've actually got to, not just dance it, but perform it, and you've got to, and the acting and all that. Which
the way you knock on the door at the beginning, amazing. I was convinced.
I found all that stuff as hard as any of it. There's only
it's the
how
acting,
I can knocking on the door, but I can do it normally. Why can't I do it? But it. Some of the performers, or some of the actors rather, or singers, when they go to dance, they come to life when it's time to perform, and that was cool to watch. And because it was so foreign to us, it's why it's been so good for us. It sort of push you and gets you out of your comfort zone.
Hey Ben, it's a bit of a serious question. So we all know your history and the troubles that you've had. When doing a show like this, you realise that all the press are going to rewrite those stories, and it's going to be presented as part of your package. How are you with that now? Like, are you now? You know, when you go through a time and then you don't want to talk about it, are you now at the stage where it's an easy thing to discuss, or is that a bit of a sting still?
No, listen, I'm fully aware of the path that I've been down. I'm just in a totally different space in my life.
So
I think it's been given. Yeah, well, it's I try to remind myself of where I've come from, but I'm just in a different place. I'm just more interested in so much else that's going on in my life. It's not that I'm reluctant to talk about it when the situation comes along. It's just I'm just invested in all the other good things that
There's
are in my
more
life.
to your life now.
But it is what's happened is I can't change that, and it's but it's nice to be moving through that and out the other side.
And as time gets away from all your troubles, it's an easy thing to talk about. It's like losing someone, really. Like when I lost my brother, it was so hard to talk about. Now I can talk about it and I'm fine. So once you get a bit departed from the trauma, it's
totally
easier. You're a bit more detached.
Yeah, and just I'm just in a different place. Life is good,
you're dancing.
Yeah, well, just even the fact
you're presenting your ass to Australia.
You're dancing and you've got a puppy. Like, what else do you need?
Yes, but the fact that I've taken on that show and given it a go is just an indication of the different space I'm in, because I know that prior I just never would have been able to do something like that.
Can I say,
we're going to get Ben to hang around.
This is the first time that you've been on our show ever. Do you know that?
That's
21, 22 years. Isn't that amazing?
That's it.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.